Hey HappiCrew, HappiDaze here. In today's video, we are doing our TM runs featuring the Nami boss here. So we'll go through the battles, quickly talk about what supports we're using, how we're getting through. Sorry, I was hoping to get the video out for this batch, but I figured I'd want to get this one out more quicker, just because it's more relevant to what we are, what you guys are probably doing yourselves. So let's get this TM walkthrough video out first, and then I'll come back and get another video out talking about the batch themselves. So the Intrusion battle for this one is quite the doozy, to say the least. So it's going to be kind of hard for people to really, if you haven't pulled a lot of the boosted units, like it's going to be a tough TM, unfortunately. So we're just go ahead and use one of our steering wheels here. That way we can kind of get the guaranteed Intrusion fight against the Boa Hancock unit there. So what we're going to do here, and there's a lot of supports that are kind of needed, so we'll go through them one at a time. But basically what we want to do is on stage 2 of this fight, we're going to use one of our aces, and then on stage 3, we'll kind of use everyone else. Now, how we built some of these supports, we didn't need additional units. For example, you get some paralysis orbs on stage 2, but we have a support to kind of help us out there. So that being said, let's just kind of move one more spot so we can quickly get into this Intrusion battle. Alright, we should be fighting Boa right here. Perfect. Love to see that. Alright, so for the first battle, we are using a Captain Ace from the batch, as well as a friend Captain Ace, so double Ace captains there. We have Marco and Blackbeard. Of course, the batch, they're really made for this content. Yamato in the bottom left there, and then Boa in the bottom right, though she's really not doing much for this team. She's just the highest point booster I have. She's strength, so she gets the territory advantage from Ace. So that's what we're using her. So let's talk about some of these supports real quick, talk about what we're doing. So we have the support here on Ace, just because they allow us to basically, when you use your special, it locks slots and gets rid of paralysis by 1 turn. So that will turn all the paralysis slots that you get on stage 2 over to matching slots, which is perfect. As I mentioned, gimmicks here. Stage 2 is really starts to get a bunch of cooldown for the characters, Striker's Cerebral Powerhouse that you see there. But on stage 2, you really have to deal with Bind, which Ace's Captain does. You get the Paralysis Orbs, which I just talked about, the support there that of the Ace that will help them get rid of that. And then, obviously, if you have the Ace Captain, it turns the burn to an attack boost, I believe it is. And then the special of Ace will get through the Resilience. And then lastly, there's a damage barrier on there. Now, in our case, 2 of our units on here can ignore barriers as long as they have, the limit break there. So that just kind of helps us get through that barrier. No problem at all. Should be pretty easy to get through that. Not really worried at all about that. So really on stage 2, we're just going to be using just our Ace special, and that's all. So on the Blackbeard, let's talk about the support that we have on him real quick. So we're basically just using the support on here to help get rid of the paralysis. So you do get 9 turns of paralysis on the final stage, which is kind of crazy. So the Yamato that we have will take care of 6 of those, and basically the supports that we have will take care of the rest. You also want a high chain, so that's where Marco comes in super clutch for getting that. And of course the Despair with the combination of sockets and the friend and the double aces there, that will kind of take care of that. So Despair, paralysis, and chain down are really what you have to deal with for that third fight. Again, support on Boa is just to reduce her special CT at the end of the battle, nothing kind of too crazy. Again, Luffy's just another paralysis down reducer. So we have a total of 3 turns there, so that will get us, with Yamato, get us the 9 that we need. And then lastly, the Whitebeard here is really just for the Despair, just to help out by 3 turns. You don't even really need this guy, I just kind of threw him on here. So if you don't have any of the other supports, you could throw a paralysis support on Marco if you want to reduce that even more, if you don't have the right supports on the Yamato unit or the Teach unit there. So that's kind of the game plan for how we're tackling it. So let's actually get into the battle itself. So on stage 1, we're just going to go ahead and just straight kill. Don't have to stall for anything, which is great. On stage 2, we're going to use our Captain Ace. That way we can get the support effect there to get rid of the paralysis orbs and lock them for us as well. Special will also get rid of the bind, so you love to see that. And that special lock you get is exactly why you want to make sure all your specials are charged before you get out of the stage, or you have a special rewinder to be able to use them in the final stage there. Alright, so going to the final stage, like at this point it's super easy. Like I said, we have the supports that reduce the paralysis down to 4 turns, and then Yamato with our 6 turns is more than enough to get rid of it. So you love to see that there. We're going to use the Ace special, and then we can use the Blackbeard to basically recharge it back to 0. So we could do 2 shots in 1 match, which is awesome. You love to see that. And we'll do it on our Captain Ace there. I forget if I did the class, super class, so I'll just do it again just in case I didn't. Then basically you just use everyone else, and you're good to go at that point. Has a ton of damage, you don't have to worry. With all the buffs that you get from the increased damage from the Yamato and everything else, like this team is going to be absolutely perfect to go pretty much to the end of the event. I don't foresee any issues there. You can see 1 tap, able to take out everyone, and that was a 1 tap with not even a type advantage. So yeah, once everyone else starts hitting, this will be really easy to keep this team up. Get through the Intrusion battle. So like I said, if you don't have the new Ace, it's gonna be a little bit tough. But hang in there. You know, there's tons of teams out there. I think Stump and some others already have some teams, some free-to-play teams to do alternatives there. So I just recommend you check those out. If you have any questions on kind of some alternate teams you can use. Of course, you could always cheese it with the Gear 5 Luffy if you really want to. You won't get any boost there, but at least if you just want to get through the content, you know, Luffy can help go through barriers, which is great for Stage 2. And yeah, the ability to go through defensive effects and all that stuff is just super good. So, all right, we're just gonna go this way, so we can go ahead and get the bento box there, get some more stamina, so we can get some more runs. So love to see that. Almost there. All right, time for the big finale here with all the different battles. So going into all the mini bosses, there's none that are really kind of too crazy this time, which is good. It all seems that they're pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So for the carrot, we're really using this team here. With the Luffy on the team, we're able to get the defense gone with Zoro, the threshold gone with Brook. So yeah, it just makes it really easy to kind of get through this team. I'm not really sure why they recommend having... Oh, they have the Perona character here to get rid of the damage reduction, but yeah, and Kobe here is just hair as a point booster. So no supports needed for this team, so that's great. You'd love to see that. We have the Perona unit who does boost Sai in strength units, which is why she's the captain. Zoro only boosts Slasher, so it didn't really make sense to have him as the captain there. So we have all our specials ready to go, which is awesome, which means that we can just kind of speed run the first 2 stages of this battle. And for the boss herself, as I mentioned, the Perona will get rid of the damage reduction. Because we have the Luffy on the crew, when we use the Zoro special and the Brook special, it will get rid of... actually, sorry, I forgot that Zoro actually got rid of both of those. So yeah, this Brook here is absolutely... You don't even need him for anything. You could actually just swap him out with a higher point booster, and you'll be good. But you can see, pretty much gets us in a spot where we're absolutely perfect. Don't even need to use the Kobe special. Boom, we can go ahead and kill. So if you want to put like a wave clear in that Brook spot, you could totally do that just to make your runs a little bit quicker there. So Carrot is taken down there, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Next, it's going to be Ulti here, so we're going to go ahead and use the recommended Frankie and Sanji there, so make sure they are the super evolved copy. I had forgotten to super evolve mine when I was building my teams, so I was kind of confused why I didn't see them in the boosted unit list, so make sure that you do super evolve the unit if you have them so they get the boost that's there. So on this one, you really don't have to stall. We're not going to be using Magellan's special at all, so you don't have to worry about stalling or anything for him. He was just a high point booster who was a shooter, so we just kept him on the team to get the most advantage out of the territory on that final stage there. So we're going to go ahead and just kill everyone else. We're going to bind on the left-hand column there for the final stage. Basically, you can just use 2 of the Frankie and Sanji. They get their special rewound back to max once you use it once. If you really want to, you can just keep using it to just get more heals, though obviously it's not needed. We have way more HP than we'll ever need. And then you just pretty much have everyone else go. You'll have full int orbs, which is perfect for type advantage. And basically one shot and you will be off to the races, and this mini boss is no more. So really easy to get through this. Again, this team will last until the end of the event, similar to the previous mini boss that we just fought, so that's great. You love to see that. Obviously my Magellan doesn't have much limit breaks, he doesn't get much use, so just leveling that up there. Alright, so against Perona, this is probably the hardest fight out of all of them, for me at least. I wanted to keep that boa on the boss team, that way I get the most point boosters. This is what our team looks like here. Really in the last stage, what you really have to deal with is the threshold, the defense, and that's really it. So in order to get around that, in order to get around the threshold, we have the Roger Lee Gabon V2. Takes care of that as part of his captain ability, and then we have the Mihawk support on Shiroshoshi there to take care of the defense up. Now, shout out to Dean and TRS Alliance members. They are the ones who actually posted this team. I originally had a team going with Nami and Karina. Was trying to make it work, but it was really tough to kind of build a good strength team around that to kind of get around all the gimmicks and do that. So Dean had posted this, so yeah, shamelessly stealing it. So thank you to Dean and anyone who helped build this team. It just works out really, really well just because of that captain ability of the Roger Rayleigh Gabon V2. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, the character who won't get the boost on this is the Shiroshoshi. Like I said, we're just using her support. It auto-triggers on that last stage, so we don't have to wait for her special to be ready. But pretty much everyone else will be ready for the final stage just by tapping. Recommend just keeping the orbs on the left-hand side, just not using the attacks there. That way you can go ahead and get the rainbow damage from those. Yeah, it means that you'll be stalling for 2 turns, but that kind of is what it is. So let's go ahead and keep fighting here. We'll go ahead and kill the 2 turtles, which is good. And alright, so we're going to go ahead and use the Roger Gabon V2 special here. And then we can pretty much use everyone else's special. As I mentioned, the support unit that is on the Shiroshoshi there basically kicked off and was able to help give us the ability to get rid of most of that defense that's there, which is perfect. And at that point, with both Wano orbs and Rainbow orbs, we have more than enough damage to just kill Perona. So this team will probably be the one that I stick with to the very end. Again, we could replace the Izo and the Zoro there with different characters that are maybe have type advantage, but totally not necessary there. So for the final mini-boss fight against Yamato, we're going to go ahead and use the Sabo Koala that recently got the Super Evolution. Love to see that, even though they're not really that great. We are going to start off as Sabo. We don't have any supports needed for this team. Really, it was just any int units that were there that kind of met the condition. On the final stage, really, we're going to just do Super Swap to get rid of most of the bad stuff on the captains, then use the specials to kind of get everyone else ready to go. Love my girl Stussy here, which is why I, of course, had to add her on any team. Of course, there's no barriers on this battle, so it doesn't really help with her special there, but hey, you know, anytime I can use Stussy, I will be more than happy to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and do the Super Swap into the Koala here. We'll get rid of the Despair, and then when we use the special, it will help get rid of all that special bind that's there. Just make it really kind of easy to get through the content. And just to show you, I'm not even going to use anyone else's special. Literally just using one of the captain specials is more than enough to finish off the fight. So again, if you want to place some of the units at the bottom there with speed boosters, you can use the Vista, for example, if you want to just do some quick wave clearing for the stages before the final boss. Completely able to do that. So lastly, against the Nami here, we're going to go ahead and, again, use a friend captain ace. In terms of supports, the only one that's kind of important is this one that's on Yamato here, because he will cut HP 20% at the end of the final battle. That will basically help us to get rid of the stun on the middle row. And then you have to make sure that you have your special bind remover and out of the middle row, so that way you don't have to kind of worry about them getting special bound, not being able to use them. Other than that, pretty straightforward. Again, we're going to use, let's just take a look quickly at the gimmicks real quick here, make sure there's nothing else surprising. So on stage 2, again, we're going to get rid of the attack down with the Teach unit. The burn there gets taken care of by the Ace Captain. And because you get your slots to basically block, that Blackbeard will take care of that as well, give you recovery orbs, which is great. Every other orb, I think, except for recovery, gives an attack down, so you want to make sure that you're using recovery orbs for this battle. So yeah, that's really how we get through. It's really the Ace and the Blackbeard on stage 2. And then on stage 3, we'll have below 50% HP because we use one of our Ace specials, so you get to deal with the special bind, and the stun is really kind of the only stuff you have to deal with on stage number 3. So it's actually not really that bad of a TM boss there. Not like a crazy amount of gimmicks, so of course that's always good. So let's go ahead and choose our friend Captain Ace here and get right into it. And the more I think of it now, you actually might not even need that support on Yamato, because when you use Marco to get rid of the special bind on the last stage, you should be able to just go ahead and use the Ace special. That will cut your HP and actually will take care of the stun for you. So you probably don't even need that support on Yamato. You could probably use no supports on this team. So yeah, the most difficult fight on here will definitely be that Intrusion battle. So we'll use one of our Aces here. And as I mentioned, we'll use the Blackbeard as well. He'll give us all recovery orbs, which is good. I'm going to save the super class until the final fight, even though I couldn't use it here. I'm just getting some recovery orbs up here just to get some HP. As I mentioned, that gets rid of the stun, but if I use Marco anyway, he frees up the Ace anyway, and he would have got rid of the stun himself. So again, not really needed, and that's really the two gimmicks. If you can get rid of the stun and the special bind, like you're Gucci on the stage. So with that being said, just use everyone's special, just so we can get just a ton of attack, a ton of damage. Again, we were able to use the Blackbeard. Using that Blackbeard lets us use 2 Ace specials here to give the territory of strength, which just lets us do an absolute insane amount of damage, and boom, just like that. That's how we do it. So that will be the TM runs. I'll be using this team until the end of the TM. Again, this is kind of your whale team, right? You need the full batch, plus you need that Yamato from the last batch that came out, or the batch before that came out, the summer batch. If you don't have that Yamato unit, basically what you'll want to do is have someone who can remove paralysis, right, and keep everything the same. But the Avenger of the Yamato there, she can do with her super class, which I don't think I actually triggered now that I'm thinking about it, but her super class can actually give an increased damage down as well. So yeah, you want to be able to get the most of that. Of course she's perfect, but if not, if you just get a paralysis reducer for 6 turns, you should be able to slot them into that slot and still be pretty good. So that's gonna wrap up the video for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it showed you what teams I'm using for my runs and some strategies of how you take care of some of the gimmicks, especially on that Intrusion boss, which just isn't fun. Let me know what you think of this TM so far. What teams are you using? If you didn't pull the TM Ace unit, what captain are you using? I'd love to hear from you guys what ways you're getting around some of this other content with some other units there. So let me know in the comment section below. As always, until next time, be kind to each other. Thanks.